You're home for the Fighting Illini. The Big 89 WLS. Happy to say hi to the head coach, Bret Bielema. And Coach, since the last time you were on, all you do is win.
Well, it's good to get a W, but we're on to Indiana and see exactly what we can do this weekend.
For people that missed this game, though, I love this kind of story. So your guy goes down, Luke Altmaier. This is a good quarterback. This kid got skills. So you send in John Paddock. This is when you find out whether or not a kid has the heart, the drive, because a lot of you have practice skills, but this is game skills. Mm-hmm. And not only did he go 3 for 3 and lead for a game-winning touchdown, he looked as calm as you could possibly look. I was very impressed.
Yeah, Steve, it's a great testament, obviously, to John Paddock. His coach, Barry Lunny, his teammates. The part that's really been fun is, a lot of times this is the first chance, obviously, the outside world gets to see him. But John Paddock, since January when he arrived, has just been sensational, just every day of preparation. And then, when those moments come, you can't go back and retrace what you've done the last couple of weeks. You got to live off of what you did this week. And, John stepped into that moment, 4th and 11, 3 straight passes, took advantage of the last play of a look that they gave us was really awesome. I do think it's getting lost. Luke in that performance was 15 and 19 at the half. Since the Penn State game, he's thrown basically 10 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. He's thrown for over 1,300 yards, almost 220 a game, completing 66%. So Luke had done some good things, but we'll see where this week goes. But I think Luke's got a chance to get back out there Saturday, and now we know John is a guy that can really, put us in a good position if called upon.
Yeah, and it's always fun in college football. One of the great things about college football to me is to get the shot of the family or the parents when a kid does something great.
I cry when I see those.
Yeah,
I get teary-eyed.
Pretty great. Coach cries too, but he can't let you know that. He's got a job to do.
He goes home and cries.
Hey, you got to care enough to cry. I do know that.
Now, there's some expectations on the Illini to beat Indiana. Indiana's not having a great year, but this is not a one you walk over, right?
Well, they're 3-6, and we're 4-5, so it's a one game difference. But more than anything, last year Indiana beat us there. They've won 4 in a row over the Illinois. I've only played them one time, but I definitely know that the important part to this Saturday is Indiana just finished a Wisconsin game that we couldn't. So they definitely are a football team that deserves everything they've gotten and are playing really good football since they had a bye week a couple weeks ago. They changed some things around offensively. They transitioned from their play caller to a caller on staff that has done a really good job of kind of just redefining what they do and a very impressive team the last couple of weeks.
Is that one of the most frustrating things as a coach is just teaching? And it's not just the kids. You see this in the pros all the time. You see professional coaches been around forever talking about finishing the game, not just finishing the play, not just play to the whistle, but playing for 60 minutes. Is that something you constantly have to, harp on?
You do. It's called, we work all the time, end of half, end of game, situational football. I think the part that, for us, that we've had a hard time grasping throughout the course of this year is we've had some really good end-of-game finishes, obviously walk-off, kickoff, walk-off field goals against a couple teams, Toledo and then obviously Maryland, and then to win the way that we did this past Saturday. But on the flip side of it, Wisconsin game was one that we definitely wish we could take back, and then a couple other games down the stretch. This Big Ten Conference, every team's still alive for a bowl game. I believe the only team that's literally eliminated right now for bowl game is Purdue. So you still have 13 of the 14 teams that are vying for their opportunity to have postseason play. And it's a conference you got to bring your A game every week to try and get to where you can be.
I know you're tight on time to get to practice, but we always need to get an update on your girls and your family. How's everybody?
It was funny. My daughters, when they stayed up, I didn't get home till about 10 o'clock Saturday night. And that's really late for them. They're usually in bed by 7 or 8 at the latest.
Yeah, me too.
And I came walking in that door, and they came running down that hallway. And, it was pretty awesome. And then we got to go to one of their favorite restaurants is either La Peep or the Pancake House here in town. So I got to take them to breakfast
on Sunday.
7 a.m. Sunday morning. They didn't understand that the clock fell back. They were ready to go no matter what.
Is there anything
that's
better?
A joy.
I'm telling you right now, and I get this now with my grandkids, there's nothing better than the I can't believe how happy I am you're home when the kids run and jump on you. It's the greatest.
It is absolutely awesome. The part that I always tell our players, right, and coaches is perspective, right? This morning, actually, we started our meeting off and, I educated our players that Veterans Day on Saturday, November 11th, Memorial Stadium, Veterans Day actually started as Armistice Day,
right.
And it was November 11th because it was the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of the year when World War I ended. And to give those guys a perspective on the history, especially, now today, Veterans Day, in the world that we're in right now, so many of our kids have family members that are in the service. I think those teaching moments that you can get beyond football go a lot further than anybody could ever imagine.
And by the way, Coach, impressive.
Nice.
You say history. Were you a history major?
Not a history man. I did go to school to be pre-law.
Okay.
But after I realized that you're going to have to take history class after history class and read book after book, I quickly transitioned to a marketing major and tried to use my personality a little bit.
There you go. And you know what? Guys like us, Coach, you get to be your age and my age. I got a couple years on you, but, you catch everything you need to know from the History Channel. and I'm watching it, and my wife comes in. You're watching a World War II doc again? I don't know how this ends. That's all I'm saying, Coach. That's how you learn.
You forget.
Last word, Jim.
Well, Saturday is also Dad's Day at the game. Well, any of the players then have the dads come out to the game? I'm sure they come to every game, but it is a special tradition.
Jane, it's actually kind of cool. We have started this when we got here. We actually have the Illini walk, which is when we enter the stadium. Our buses drop us off in the hotel, and their dads walk with them through the crowd. And then literally come down and on a field, and we have a Dad's Day photo with them kind of walking down the steps with their dads, and then a collective Dad's Day photo, which is pretty awesome. And our kids really, obviously, I think our kids look forward to it, but I know those dads look forward to it tenfold.
I got teary-eyed again.
I'm just trying to picture Bret
sweet.
Bielema in a courtroom in a shirt and tie, and he's coming after me, and I'm the defendant. I just plead guilty and run.
It's funny growing up. My parents. I'm Bret, but I have an older brother named Bart. So my parents always used to watch Gunsmoke, right? But the second favorite show probably was Matlock, and I was always kind of intrigued with how he always had the right answers in that courtroom. But obviously, it was made for pay TV at the time. But I didn't catch on when I was 8. So it's been a revolving network of learning things along the way, and I think anything we can make our kids know a little bit more than what's in front of them is a good thing.
That's great.
And outside of Judge Judy, I don't know any judge that isn't going to just say okay to your objection, counselor. Hey, let's get another one. We'll have it live Saturday. We, of course, are Illini football and 11 o'clock kickoff Saturday, Indiana, and you're fighting Illini. ILO!
I.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, James.
Thanks, Coach.
Buddy. There you go. That's a coach. Can you imagine that guy?
As a lawyer?
In a suit and tie?
He'd be great.
Coming after you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.